league race here in Singapore. Singapore is one of 3 city-states in the world, including Monaco and the Vatican City. The population of this city is 5.6 million people. It was the first race under the lights, and speaking of lights, it has 1,600 bulbs illuminating the circuit. It debuted in 2008 with Fernando Alonso taking its first win 12 years ago, and they've only had 4 winners, including also Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg, Sebastian Vettel, but of course no winners here for our Formula 4 drivers. As you can see, the track has 23 turns with a 5-kilometre circuit, 3.1 miles of, sorry about that, 3.1 mile circuit, and you're at full throttle here for 70% of the lap, and the track record was set by Kevin Magnussen in 2018 with a 121.905. There are all, of course, 3 tyre compounds here, the soft, medium and the hards, the C5, the C4 and the C3 tyres. So last week obviously we were at Japan for our pre-season race, and I was with Yestin, but not today. He can't make it today, so I'm here with Flea 1996, also known as Lee, and yeah, looking forward to having a go at this with Lee. It's been a long time, hasn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's been quite a while since we've been together in the commentary box.
Yeah, we were saying what, about 6 months ago?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a long time ago, and that was the ice cream van of Lee going past as usual, as per that always happens. But yeah, so anyway, obviously if you are new to this and we haven't gone from last week, and of course Lee, you aren't new to this, we don't have the usual teams. We're using multiplayer cars, and there are only actually 5 teams of 4 drivers, and the teams are Nintendo, which are the red banner on the left hand side, MTV, which is a personal favourite, which is the pinky purple banner next to the names on the left hand side. We've got BMW, which are obviously blue, Jaguar, which are actually coming up as black, but they will be, you'll see them as a green livery, and the last but not least, JCB F1 team. So obviously we're only seeing 17 drivers tonight. We unfortunately haven't got a full grid, but we have got full qualifying, and we're still going to have a couple of people knocked out of the session. We're going to be left with 15 at the end of this session. So yeah, there's quite a few names you know there, isn't there, Lee?
I think so, yeah. Let's see, Total Peas, Ice Dreams, Alahan,
Poor Orange,
and then Poorly Orange, Droffness, LPE, Pillars.
Yeah, about half the grid. So yeah, it should be exciting. I don't know. We'll have to work out. So yeah, there's a couple lacking from the BMW side today. There's only 3. It looks like there's only 3 drivers from BMW. We've got 4 drivers from Jaguar. I think and we've got, yeah, so we've got a little bit of a mix. So we haven't got, obviously it's a bit unfortunate we haven't got a full house. I don't know if we've got a full team. Do we have a full team? Yeah, we do actually. We have JCB is a full team tonight, and oh, I do apologise. And Jaguar are also a full team. I said they were. I just think I said they weren't, but they are. So what are you thinking of the liveries then, Lee?
Let's see. Not a proper transport, but that's quite a smart one. Let's see who else is out on track.
Got ice streams on and out lap at the minute in the JCB.
I was wondering how it wasn't changing camera shot for me though.
Yeah, it was doing it for me a second. It was being a bit funny how this Codemasters game is being a little bit funny.
Yeah, I noticed that quite often, to be honest. It's just one of them things with games, to be honest, is it?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, definitely. So we're going to see ice streams now. So we'll go with ice streams on board for a lap as you see him going down into turn 1 and turn 2. So yeah, we said before there's 23 corners. This is the I think it's the most amount of corners on the calendar, and it's the longest race of the year. So it'll be the longest race for us, doing 50%, not 100% here tonight, but with full qualifying. So Q2, that's where it starts getting really interesting. As of course we see ice streams taking a purple sector 1, but of course he's the first guy to set a lap, so that's not surprising. It'd be more of a surprise if he didn't, wouldn't it, Lee?
Sorry?
I said it'd be more of a surprise. I said it'd be more of a surprise if he didn't get purple sector 1 when he's the first one to set a lap.
Yeah, that would be a bit of a red face there, to be honest. So, yeah, seems to be doing all right up to now.
Yeah, he does. He's had quite a tidy lap. As we say that, commentators curse straight out the bag there with an invalid lap time. Always happens. And there's another case there. As we see, oh no, it wasn't it was Panda who's in the MTV car, which I do think is quite a smart looking livery from the MTV guys. A little bit of an homage to the Pink Panthers, the Racing Points. We certainly are Pink Panthers in Formula 4.
As you see, Droftas just put in quite a stonker of a lap.
He did indeed.
34.3.
Yeah, well, he's 2 seconds faster than second place at the minute, but obviously we've only had 2 drivers set a lap at the minute. We have got a few more guys on out laps at the minute. We've got young Stinson coming round to about to come under the grandstand at the minute, the left-right chicane underneath the grandstand, the only one of its kind on the calendar as well. Or should we count Mexico actually? So it doesn't actually go underneath though, does it? It just goes through.
Not sure.
Not sure on that one. I think this probably is the only one that's seen invalidation there, where he starts his lap, so that's very interesting there from the Nintendo driver. Said before with Yestin last week, Lee, that it's a bit controversial, isn't it, Nintendo, for on the PlayStation. But there you go, at least it's not Xbox. That's all I can say. As we see Paulie Orange set a lap time, but nowhere close to Droftas at the moment, with Andenge setting a lap time still around 7/10 off Droftas at the minute. So even though it's only Q1, as you said, Droftas has really set a marker down at the minute, and he's I think he's intending to get pole here, Lee.
I mean, he's still way ahead on time up to now.
He is well ahead on time. As we see Paul coming out the pits here, he got into the top 10 last race, and we'll see how he does here. I don't know how much practice these guys have got. I think Paul would have done quite a bit of practice for this race, as we see him coming down Raffles Boulevard at the moment and down into the end of sector 1 on his outlap, as we see the red light on the rear of his car flashing away, as he's not using any energy at the moment, no ERS as it stands. So we've just got some times rolling in now. We've got iStreams and LP just setting a lap time, but they are so off the pace, with Total P's just sneaking in with pole position, Q1 pole position at the minute, with a 1:34.1 Lee. So Droftas' time has been beat by a couple of tenths already. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Just have to wait and see. Maybe he was running a bit light, to be honest. You never know.
Yeah,
like,
you do.
like taking it easy. Oh, just seen Ponst. I don't even know how to say his name.
Paul, PWS. Paul.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
PWS TN 38. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just say Paul. It's fine. It's Paul. Just yeah. So yeah, Paul's made a little mistake, but he's on his. He's just starting his lap now, I think, Lee. So we'll stick with Paul, see how he does, as he goes really wide into someone and invalidates. I need to stop following people, because it's I'm not giving anyone any help here at all. As Infamous Pillars goes into P3 at the moment in the MTV. So Jaguar are on pole for Q1 at the moment, and yeah, followed by Droftas. But I don't think these guys, we won't see them for a few more minutes. I don't think I don't think they'll need to set another lap time. It's interesting that not even half the grid well, just over half the grid. Well, yeah, half the grid have set a lap time. So it's interesting that we've obviously still got some guys trying to set laps. They've obviously invalidated quite a few times. This track is a bit of a cruel one. It's quite wide, but it can also catch you out quite easily, especially like coming up to here where the Singapore Sling chicane used to be back up to about 2013, I think, and they changed it and reprofiled it to where you go over the Anderson Bridge, and Matteo is getting the back end kicking out over the Anderson Bridge as we go through, and there's 3 DRS, I didn't say that earlier on, there's 3 DRS zones on this circuit. The third one was in... Yeah, of course there is a new one. It wasn't in the in F1 2019, it was in real life, of course, but obviously, unfortunately, we're not going to Singapore this year. We've got 4 races left on the calendar. Next up, Turkey. Really excited for that one. It's been, it feels like forever since we've been to Turkey. But yeah, as we see, Matteo, or Mateo, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Matteo or Matteo? Let me know if, yeah, he needs to let me know so I don't get it wrong. But he did post a time of 1:36.2. It puts him in 7th place. So there is a bit of a gap between the guys at the minute, so it is going to be interesting to see. But I think the session is going to start ramping up in a minute, and we'll see some more guys out on track.
I can see that Total P's and Droftas are pretty confident in their times, and they've already thought, ah well, that's it for this session. So, is it going to be enough to keep them in it, or are they going to get put out?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. As we said, I think these guys right at the bottom, like Ramsal and WC96.
Blaze coming second with a 34.2.
Oh well, he's also put in a stonker of a lap there in representing BMW team tonight. It's been a long time since BMW have been in Formula 1. It's about 11 years, isn't it? 2009? I think was that last year? Same as Toyota?
I'm not so sure, to be honest.
Yeah, so, were you able... Sorry, go on.
Oh no, I was going to say, I used to get mixed up all the time with like the Honda, the BAR, and I used to just get mixed up with all of them all the time because they were just too similar.
Yeah, there were a lot. There were a lot. But it's a shame now, we only have 20. It's a shame that if Codemasters, if you're listening, let us have 26 cars on multiplayer. Please. Be really good. That's what I got to say to Codemasters, but I'm sure they're not going to hear this. And yeah, no, I was going to say something before there, you know. It'll come back to me. It should. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It will come back to me, and yeah, there's a lot of these guys. Let's just hope that some of these guys, especially Paul, who's sat in 17th at the moment, 17th and last, shall we say, coming round on his outlap once again, getting out of the way of another driver, I think. Yeah, getting out of the way of infamous pillars, but also on an outlap. So didn't really need to do that, as we've got five and a bit minutes, just over 5.5 minutes left in this first qualifying session. Is Paul is invalidating on his outlap. He needs to make sure to be careful on his flyer that he doesn't make the same mistake.
Oh, right. Just got the comments here.
Yeah. That was what I was going to ask you about, the comments. You read my mind in the end. You got it for me.
Yeah. So it's Matty O. It's confirmed it for us, by the way.
Matty O. Okay.
And Young Stinson put in, for the commentator, race is dry to light rain to heavy rain. So this is going to be interesting.
This is gonna. Oh well. Who did that comment, Lee?
Young Stinson.
Young Stinson. Well, thanks, Young Stinson. You've brightened up my Monday night. Thank you very much.
This is going to be
So it's dry at the start, so this is going to be interesting. So Q2 is, we'll go for it now. I was going to say it later, but as I've brought it up already, if people wouldn't know, but I'm sure everyone will, is I don't see why you'd be watching league racing if you didn't like Formula 1. But Q2, you whatever you start the race on, if it's dry, of course, you whatever time you set, you start the race on. So you may see some guys on the medium tyres in Q2, especially the top guys, but it depends when the rain is going to come. So and then sometimes the weather forecast is sometimes a little bit wrong, or very wrong sometimes. So as we're looking at Infamous Pillars here, going for a second go, I think he's on the. Actually, we'll get that up. We've got times up at the minute, but we'll have a look at tyres actually. So yeah, he's on a fresh set, I think. Is Infamous Pillars. That's interesting. As he cuts the final corner quite a lot there, but he gets away with it, and he doesn't improve up the timing sheet at the moment. As we see Paul going 14th and just safe at the minute. I don't think he's got enough time, unless he's got enough fuel on board to go again and have a cool down lap. But I don't think he's got enough time, as we've got WC96. So I don't think it was here last week. It hasn't set a lap yet. So how are you finding this long qualifying session then, Lee? As we haven't, just to let everyone know, I'm saying this like everyone knows, me and Lee have commentated before, but never on a full quali session, I don't think. So it's a first for us, first for me as well, actually.
This is the first, yeah.
Yeah, so.
And especially a track as complicated as this.
Yes, they definitely got thrown in the deep end. So yeah, we'll talk about that. Obviously, we didn't mention that before. Singapore is our first race, and we're doing a random calendar. So as we're going round and the formalities are being set of Q1 at the minute, maybe we'll have a little look at some of the calendar for this year, or maybe even all of the calendar. So next week, I'll probably say it next week, there's no place like home. We're going to Britain, and we're going to Silverstone, and then round 3 will be Mexico. Vietnam will be round 4. 5 will be Monaco, another city-state, of course, and Azerbaijan will be the next race after that. Spain will be after that. We have got a little bit of a European bit going on in the middle here. Spain is next, then Hungary, and then Belgium, and then we're going to Abu Dhabi, and then we're going to Texas, we're going to the USA, and then we're going to Monza, Montreal, Australia, France, China, Bahrain, then we got Austria, Russia, and then interestingly, in the place where it should always be, or not always be, where it is at the minute, Brazil, and finally Japan. We're starting where we're finishing where we started last week in pre-season testing. So yeah, nice and but some if you probably noticed there, a few tracks pretty much in the place where they would be on a normal calendar, i.e. like Monaco. So yeah, WC96 still hasn't come out of the pit, so I don't know what's happened there. I wouldn't think he would have had a quali ban, as it's round 1, and very interesting to see. So we've got some guys fighting it out, as Paul is now the driver at risk in 15th, and we've got Ramsell on a lap, the only guy that can get him out of Q2, as we're seeing him now, just gone through the Anderson Bridge, and he's just backed off. So I don't know, it's very I'm really confused, Lee. Why would you have... It looked like he was on a lap. He's got no battery left. Ramsell. Interesting.
Maybe fuel.
So yeah, talking about the comments there, if we've got any more comments, as we've got this little...
None up to now.
Nothing really, just a few hellos, I'm guessing.
That's about it, really, yeah.
Yeah. Full of insight there, Lee, I love it.
There was one that made me chuckle a bit.
Go on then. This is what I mean. We need to talk about it. Come on.
Kieran Houghton.
Yes.
Just thought I'd let you boys know that a mad scientist shaves his legs.
You're what?
This is from Kieran Houghton.
Yes.
Just thought I'd let you boys know that mad scientist shaves his legs. And that
Maybe
one...
it makes it go, maybe it makes him go faster. You never know. You never
aerodynamic,
ever know. Yeah, exactly, Lee. So we're just waiting now for the formalities. The 2.5 minute window we've got to wait now. So obviously, taking Q1 pole position was Total Peas, and Blaze in second, dropped us in third with that quick time right at the very start of the session. Infamous Pillars in fourth place, and Denge fifth, sixth, Alahan seventh, Paulie Orange, who was our winner last time out in the pre-season test race. Young Stinson is in eighth, ninth is Panda, all shot down is in 10th, 11 is Matteo, yeah, we're going with that, that's what it is.
Matteo, yeah.
Yeah, Matteo, come on Lee, get in there. Mad Scientist, who apparently shaves his legs, is in 12th, 13th is LPE, 14th is iStreams, Paul is in 16th, Ramsell is in, Paul is in 15th, Ramsell is in 16th, who is out in Q1, and WC96, who didn't set a lap, is also out in Q1. So what we're going to talk about now, Lee, we've got a few minutes until guys are back out on track. I got a feeling about what you'll be doing, but we can't talk about that. And
no, like I was just eating there, and
oh yeah.
been trying to,
what were you eating, Lee?
No.
Oh, I think I know what it is.
What's that?
Is it what I think it is? Is it what you always have?
No.
Beginning with S.
No.
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 Okay. You know what I'm on about, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are going to think this is a really rude thing, but it's not. I'm sorry, I can't be professional over all three qualifyings. I can do it for some of it, but not all.
Yeah, even the real commentators are professional.
In practice, they're not so professional, I have to admit. But I say that, Croftyisms. I think I've got a few Croftyisms myself, to be honest. Of course, you're our very own DC tonight.
Yeah, well, I guess so.
Well, we'll be seeing what Lee's like on track, because he's going to be put down as a reserve driver as well. So that'll be interesting, Lee, in the coming weeks.
Yeah.
Would you have liked tonight if I hadn't dragged you into doing this?
Probably not.
Oh, talking
but mind
about
you, the weather does mix it up. So
yeah. Well, you wouldn't have known that anyway, Lee. But you're supposed to say yes. But anyway.
For me, the track, I do like it, but it's just tight at certain bits, and it's just...
I don't see why that's a problem. Oh, sorry.
It's like Monaco. It's barriers.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of them. I like tracks like bit of grass, bit of gravel, you know.
Oh, gotta calm down. Yeah. Anyway, it's what I was going to say on a serious note. Anyway, what I was going to say is a shout out to CRG Geo, who was unfortunately come down with coronavirus. So I do hope he has a speedy recovery, because he would have probably been here with me, Lee, if he wasn't ill. Because obviously I don't actually know why my co-commentator usually, or should be, isn't here tonight, but George is usually would be the reserve, and or CRG Geo, as you know, and yes, I do hope he does get better soon, and his fiancée also, Catherine. So yeah, anyway, back to the on track action, and I think we've got some comments there. As we see Paul taking a little bit of a spin, a bit of a detour. He wanted to check out the runoff areas. Hope they're all right. But I hope he's all right. He's only on his out lap, so you know, trial and error. you want to check the comments, Lee? There's a few comments that flash up on my screen.
iStream said he was amazed he got into Q2.
Oh, okay. Well, let's... Yeah.
As we say, there's a Michael Pace. Says, hi guys. Sorry couldn't participate today, too tired after staring at a screen for 4 hours. Didn't want to compromise anyone's race. So, that's
okay. Well, yeah. So I'm
busy times.
Yeah, well, it is a bit difficult. Well, it is a bit difficult at the moment, anyway, isn't it? But yeah, so we've got some guys. We'll go back to Paul because we saw Paul taking a little bit of a detour and seeing him going through. Oh, big kick of oversteer onto Raffles Boulevard there as you see him coming around the right hander there, and he takes purple sector 1. At the moment, well, it says that on my screen. It can be a little bit wrong sometimes. So we'll just have to see as we see Paul now coming up towards the Anderson Bridge where the old Singapore Sling chicane used to be.
Got to say that corner, it was always quite fun, to be honest.
Did you like it? Did you, Lee?
A little bit, yeah. It always provided a wee bit more entertainment. Thing.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of. It's funny that I was just having a bit of an issue with the camera changes actually, so I do apologise. I don't really know what's going on. But as we see Paul now, that's come under the bridge. We see Total Peas. Oh yeah, that's a good shout. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, so. We'll just look at the best at the moment. So we've got Total Peas on a medium lap, which will be interesting because obviously we don't know when the rain is coming. Of course, the only time we've ever had rain in Singapore on the F1 calendar was 2017, and we all know what happened at the start there. I don't really have to speak about that as we see a load of guys in traffic down Raffles Boulevard, and as we see Paul doing a 139.2, so I definitely think he's got more in his pocket. 137.3. Now I know Droftas, ignore that time, he'll be setting down a little bit of a marker to improve on in a medium lap. He'd like a delta to set as he has a little bit of a think about it, as we'll see throughout the season. As LPE goes third with a 136.6, a 35.3 for Andenge. Total Peas back on top once again in Q2 from Q1. We'll see if he stays there. Unlikely to stay there if people start going onto the soft tyres, as we see the MTV car of Panda going to fourth place there with a 136.695 to LP's 662. So that is extremely close between the two drivers at the minute. As we see a few more guys are on outlaps. Mad Scientist said he was shocked to get into Q2. Let's see if he can get into Q3.
Oh no, that was iStreams.
Sorry, it was iStreams. Why did I say that? Yeah, well.
Same teams though, like a secret confusion.
Yeah. Well, let's hope they do get into Q3, the pair of them, as we see a few more guys. Alahan on an outlap. Young Slinson on an outlap as well. We've got Blaze coming into the pits, invalidated his lap time. Paulie Orange just about to get set to start a lap in just a minute, as he's just getting out of the way of some drivers, and he's just at the towards the start of the lap. Oh, something interesting there?
No, I just got on board with Mad Scientist there, and he apparently got quite a bit of understeer. Just going into chicane there. I think it was like, I don't even know what one it is, to be honest. It was the chicane just at the start of sector 3, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm really bad at this.
No, it's alright. It's been a long time, mate. I've only done it once last week, and I think I was a little bit rushed. I feel a little bit better today, but yeah, last week it was a little bit rusty. I'm sure it'd be better in the race anyway. It'll get interesting. A little bit later on. I am looking forward to the race now with a bit of rain. It will spice it up a little bit.
Oh yeah. Like, and a bit of rain always spices things up. I mean, especially if it comes halfway through, or if it dries up halfway through the race or something, you know. Plus, it'll all depend on how people's setups are.
Yeah,
Like,
it will.
Is it going to be like a dry setup, a wet setup, or a bit of both?
It's gonna have to. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gonna have to be a bit of a hybrid, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, me personally, I would prefer more of a wet setup for it, but
It depends how heavy it gets, doesn't it? If it gets heavy quickly, then you're laughing. But if it's just inters towards the end, then you're really going to suffer on a wet. But to be fair, it's high downforce here, and it's hard to pass. It's really hard to pass around Singapore. To be fair, even in league racing, I find it's quite difficult. So we're seeing a bit of a mix-up. Matteo is done a 135.9, a little bit off pole position at the minute in the Nintendo car. So yeah, did we call out a favourite from you, Lee, on the livery front? I said mine's probably MTV, to be honest. Not team, just livery. Impartial.
I'm just having a wee quick scan through them again. I like that red and white.
Nintendo.
Is that Nintendo? Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
So we
with
got.
the Jaguar one.
Yeah, just to remember, Lee, it's Nintendo, BMW, JCB, MTV, and Jaguar. And Jaguar is the black icon, even though it should be green for some reason, but it's black.
Oh, I think it's just because the primary colour on it will be black.
Yeah, black. Yeah, but yes, it is. I spoke to Paul. I spoke to Paul about it, but he said it apparently looked the best with the black base coat on the car, which I think it does actually. I think it looks nice with a black base coat. To be honest, I'm not going to complain.
I think going to be a bit critical, to be honest. A bit darker.
People are not gonna like you, Lee. He brought you along, and you're gonna start upsetting people.
It's nice though. It is nice.
I think it's awfully confident of Total P's to retire from the session, even though he's in P1, but he's on the mediums, and if everyone goes to the softs, then don't know, it depends. But he has done a bit of a cracker on the mediums, so we'll just see what's going on. Lee,
Yes.
I've got a little creature to deal with for a second. I'm really sorry. Would you mind?
Yep,
I'll literally be 2 seconds.
Yeah, so I guess I'll be taking over for now. So he's just sat on board with Purely Orange right now. Oh, as we see, Mad Scientist has just crashed out. He's just went and done, got a bit of oversteer coming out of the corner, put a bit too much throttle on it, and he is out. Unfortunately, and didn't get a time in, so it looks like he'll be starting P15. Unfortunately. That's a bit of a downer for Mad Scientist in the JCB team there. I'm sat on board with ice streams right now. Just wait to come through the final chicane into the last turns. Oh, it's back off, is he? Oh no, he's getting written up. Hey, he's going for a lap right now. Let's see how far he's going to get up on the timing sheets. Let's see, now, let's see what's he going to get. Nice, he got right across that curve there, going up the DRS straight. He's going into the bridge. And around that hairpin, let's see. What's his time? It's 1 minute now. Let's see who else is out on the lap right now. Oh, he is coming to the end of his lap. No, he's going into the pits. Ice Cream's just coming up to the end of his lap right now. Let's see, where is this time going to put him? Does it seem like 36.8? He only goes 12th for the moment. And I don't think he's going to be able to improve on that, unfortunately.
I'm back now, Lee. We're talking about ice streams.
Yeah, he just missed out. Not by much though.
Yeah, I can see.
He was able to get another half second. He could have got into the top 10, but unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. Learned that all too well myself.
Yeah, it happens to me on certain tracks. I think I'm going to get into the top 10, but he said he was happy with getting into Q2 at least, so I think he'll be quite happy with 12th. LPE is, there's a few guys just about to start lap 3. In total, obviously we've got Alahan now starting on a medium lap. He's done 2 soft laps, but they were very slow, so he's just done a couple of warm-ups I think on the softs now, going to the medium compound tyre. So he's just about
to myself, is LPE and Allshot Town going to get around for their lap?
They're gonna have to get a wriggle on.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make it, unfortunately.
Well, we're gonna have to see, unless sometimes our clock is out to theirs, which does happen. That was in the old game. I don't know if that's they've had an instant in Q2. They've had a little coming together there. LPE really trying to get on and get his lap started. He's not going to make it as he's going super slow. He's got 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. It's not going to be a Hamilton at Russia. He just misses out. So the clocks were correct, and he is out. I don't think. I think Ice Streams is going for it again. He hasn't got a lot of battery, but I think he's on a lap. I think he's just going for it. Yeah, well, he can maybe make it up to P11, which would be a nice spot to be in, especially if he, if he only wanted to get, if only he didn't think he was going to get out of Q1, P11 would be quite a result for iStream. So he is charging up the batteries though, so I don't think he's going to be improving on this lap. I'm not sure if he is. I haven't actually got the timings up, which would have helped, but I don't think he is improving on his lap at the moment. No, so that is unfortunate. But P12 is nothing to sniff at. So we've got 2 Jags out in Q1. We've got 2 JCBs out. Well, I say that. Then we'll just he's just slowed down, gone into the pit. So yeah, 2 JCBs out in Q2 as well, and a BMW. So we've got 2 JCBs. We've got 1, 2, 3 Nintendo drivers, 2 MTV drivers, and 2 Jaguar drivers in Q3 coming up in a few moments' time. So, any predictions for pole position at the minute, then, Lee? Joftas, Blaze, Total Peace, Paulie Orange.
Quite close. It's quite close, to be honest.
Infamous Pillars, of course. Alahan, they're all these guys up there are quite likely to be fighting for the win.
I know from previous experience racing with these guys, Well, raced with the top 7 except from Blaze, I've not raced with him yet. But I know from racing with them in the past that they are really quick. So yeah.
We'll be
Like,
interested to see. But they're all starting on the mediums, but Matteo, the Americans decided to go a little bit different from all the other European drivers in the top 10. So we'll see if that pays off for him for tonight's race, because of course we don't know when the rain is going to come, and if it comes pretty quickly and he gets a good start, he'll be laughing over the medium drivers. But you know, it's all to play for. We'll see what happens. And now we're into Q3, nice and quick. No big break between the sessions. So we'll get the timings back on the stream. We don't need to get the tyres up, because we all know they're going to be on soft tyres for these runs. Some guys will have one run, some guys will have two, just because of well, I say that Matteo is the only guy that qualified on the soft, so he may only get one run in no, sorry, he probably will still get two runs. We'll just have to see. But usually you get two runs in Q2 with the 12 minutes remaining in the session. So I feel like it's gone, Lee. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think with the track length here, you'll only get 2 laps in.
Yeah, some tracks you can get 3 if you have the tyres, but as you see, they're all racing to get to the start-finish line. Well, the 2 Jags were switching places at the moment, but it's nice to see they're all. It's just a bit OCD of me. It's nice to see that all the colours are actually, you know, look identical. Really, it's because they've obviously got numbers up now on the configuration of colours, haven't they, for this season? And so yeah, no, it's good to see. Actually, I do like this format, and of course, didn't talk about that either. We spoke about it last week, and got to remind ourselves, I think, of this as well. Every driver gets a point in this league. There are 2 points for pole position, and of course, point for fastest lap. But that is from 1 to 20. Obviously, only 17 drivers tonight, so 1 to 17. And first place gets 22 points. Second gets 19, and that works its way all the way down to 20th, who gets 1 point. So there's only a point between each driver from second to last place. So it might make the title fights a little bit more interesting if you know, if there's more guys that want to join this league. And of course, we will have links in Discord. I think we've got social media, Facebook, etc. So if you would like to join, please be our guest for you to come along and join us here at Formula 4, and hopefully we may get a it's just me talking, and it might get another tier go in one day in the future, and maybe we'll have a relegation fight as well with the title, with the championship points, and how they're laid out. So yeah, you can it would be quite interesting with who gets pole position, because obviously they will be getting 2 points at the end of this session, almost like Formula 2. So yeah, what are we going for then, Lee? Let's who are we thinking for pole position today? We're gonna have to go for one. That was Total Peas. I think did he go into the wall, or was he just getting out of the way?
He was just across the bridge. I think he's got some damage. Come on, you dodgy camera. There we go. Yeah, he's got damage to the front left wing. The input's gone, so he left the box.
He probably only have time for one run now as well, just because of the time on the board now.
Fortunately.
Yeah, so this will. It's a shame for Total Peas, because it looked like he was going to be on for pole position, so he's only got one run to go. So we're going to see now, as we're getting down to a real crunch time now. I think Infamous Pillars is going to be the first to set a lap. Oh no, we've got Andenge with a 1:34.7 setting a lap. We've got Infamous Pillars with a 1:34.1 setting a lap there. I'm not 100% sure on that. It's something to check.
The fastest lap was an early 34.1.
Yeah, well, but Paulie Orange, JCB, 34.5. Blaze, BMW, in pole position at the moment with a 1:33.9. So Drop That Dispatch comes across the line now, goes P3 with a 1:34.2. Alahan, or Alan, 34.7, almost a 34.8. The last on the timing sheets at the moment, and we've only got Panda left to cross the line, as we see him now coming towards the Anderson Bridge around the old Singapore Sling chicane. Still the chicane, but it's nothing like it used to be. Down to the hairpin now, and round to the second DRS straight on the lap. And of course the last one is the start of the start-finish straight just before the timing line. And yes, we're just going to see what Panda can do now. We've got young Stinson coming out on an out lap, so he's going to be the next guy to see cross the line after Panda. So some pretty quick times at the moment, Lee.
Yeah, you could tell that they were sandbagging a little in Q1 especially.
Oh, and Panda's just invalidated his lap time. Sorry to cut you off there, Lee. And he's just backing into the pits. He's still got time to set a lap, but I don't know where he was going to come compared to the other guys. But yeah, he invalidated his laps, and now we've got a little bit of a wait. All these guys who were sort of in a train together are just coming into the pits now. This first little group, and we've got young Stinson out on an out lap. This is probably going to be his final lap, just seeing of what time is on the clock. Now obviously he has to be backed into the garage to change the tyres, etc. You can't do a quick pit stop like in the race. So yeah, he's going to be the next guy. He's cutting corners, so that might have to be looked at after the race by the stewards, because I don't think cutting corners to be able to get your laps in is really allowed. But yeah, that'll have to be that may have to be seen to later. So anyway, he's going to start his lap now. Anyway, so that is for later. This is for now, and he starts to cross the line and coming down into turn 1. Let's see what he does here, Lee. He was quite wide through 3 there, wasn't he?
Yes. Getting right up against the wall there.
See how he does through sector 1. He's always runs with no ABS. So he had a little lock up there on the left front, a little lock up on the right, also on the turn in. And yeah, he's just bit of a kick of oversteer out of the corner and down towards Anderson once again. He's got a car up ahead of him, and he needs to get out of the way. It's the Jaguar, so it's either Total Peace or Andenge. It's Andenge. Yeah, and he's gone fastest in sector 2, and that Jag needs to get out of the way because they're coming into a complex section now, and he's right in the way. So let's just hope he can.
That must be really frustrating, Stinson, right now. But no, fortunate enough.
He's just got out of his way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as we see him crossing the line now, where's it going to put him? P2.
Ooh,
He's
what
done
a
it.
lap.
He's done a brilliant lap there to go P2. He still hasn't. There's only been one guy getting into the 133s, but he's right on the tip of the 133s. But unfortunately, he's only got that lap, and that's it. So I don't think he's going to post another lap now. So he's going to have to sit and wait to see where his fate lies in the rest of the session. As you'll see, Matteo, the only guy in Q2 to set a soft lap, obviously on the softs at the moment, and Panda just starting their one and only laps at the end of the session. So this is where you know, boys turn into men for the end of qualifying, and we're going to see what guys and maybe even girls, I'm not actually 100% sure, you know, as we see Stinson cutting the course again there. I don't agree with that really, do you, Lee?
Not really, no.
No, I wouldn't think so, and he definitely has not got enough time to get back. So he's only shooting himself in the foot, really, so to speak, because he may get a penalty after the race. Yeah. Anyway, we'll go. So Young Stinson is obviously. We've got Ant Denge, who's going to be the first guy to cross the line for the Jaguar team with his bright yellow helmet there. Obviously, he is from Sweden, so Swedish helmet for the Swedish driver. And yeah, coming across the line, he's backing out into the pits. He must not have been going faster. I'm not 100% sure, but he must not have been going faster. We know the reason. Right, these guys are all coming out the pits now. And there's Paulie Orange. He's just leaving the pit exit now. He's going to have to get a little wriggle on as we see Alahan coming out of the pits as well. So this is really is crunch time now, isn't it, Lee?
Oh yeah, this is the time where it all matters right now.
Yeah, so the first guy we're going to look at, if you could do me a favour, Lee, and find out in the order of where everyone's going to cross the line for me, just so I look at Matteo's lap. That'd be fantastic. If you could just have a quick look just to see. Obviously we've got Matteo and Panda, and Matteo is first, so we can see where he can put himself on his one and only lap in this session. He has a little lock up again and again, yeah, in towards the Anderson Bridge. So obviously we've still got a load of guys. We've got Young Stinson, who is out of the session. He's obviously in P2 at the moment, behind Blaze, who is pole position elect at the minute, but it might not be for very much longer, as we see a big kick of oversteer from Matteo, and yeah, going in to the right left towards the grandstand and down into the left right under the grandstand and into the final couple of corners we go, or three corners shall I say, and as he's going to come across the line in just a second. Where's it going to put him? DRS enabled. Puts him not 8th, sorry, so he hasn't moved at all, and we're going to see Panda next coming up across the line. I think Total Peas is next after that, isn't it, Lee?
Yeah, and then after that it'll be Dropped Us.
Okay, so yeah, Panda across the line, did a 134. Total Peas is next.
Ooh, just seen Poorly Orange just make the flag there.
Oh wow, brilliant for that. So we're still going to get a fight for pole position as Total Peas made that mistake, of course, in the early part of Q1. So we're going to see what he can do at the end of Q1. And he's on a flyer at the minute, and he's gone purple, sector 2 at the minute, and we're going to see where it puts him in around 30 seconds time as he's coming around the chicane here. Obviously 23 turns, and we're coming up to turn 19 and turn 20 at the moment. As he's about to come up across the line. Who we got next here? We got Droftas after this. He's close behind as well, isn't he?
Dropped just crossing the line now.
Yeah, so Total Peace takes pole, and Droftas takes pole after him, and I went all glosher then, and takes pole after him, and Infamous Pillars goes third at the moment, but with the 133.4 and 133.5 for Total Peace. That's really, really close. And who have we got next? Paulie Orange invalidated his lap time. Panda invalidated his lap time. Alahan comes across the line, P5, 133.9. And yeah, I don't think we've got anyone else setting a lap. Matteo is going slow. We've got Andenge who's crossed the line. We've got Panda who's invalidated. We've got Paulie Orange who's coming into the pits. So that is your top 10. So 2 points for Droftas and pole position in our first race of Formula 4 here at Singapore. That sounds quite nice, and it's quite nice for Droftas being in pole position. Yeah, I'll be honest, I didn't say, I thought Total Peace was going to get pole position, but he was just pipped to the post, and as we see there, Droftas gives him a friendly little nudge and takes off a little bit of his front wing, but that's not going to matter as he's still got pole position.
Just looked on there and seen Matteo just crashed on the start finish straight somehow.
Very, very strange. So yeah, the end of that session, Droftas takes pole and takes 2 points and under a tenth. Very pretty much nothing actually. Total Peas takes second, Blaze takes third, Infamous Pillars is fourth, fifth is Alahan, sixth is Young Stinson, seventh is Paulie Orange with an invalidated lap time at the end, as well as Panda in eighth and Denge ninth, and Matteo, who's starting on the softs and the only one to start on the softs in the top 10, starts 10th. So what do you think of that then, Lee, for long qualifying?
It's going to be a tough one. The one I'm going to be watching, to be honest, is Matteo, because his strategy is different. So I'm wanting to see what he's going to do. If he could pull it out the bag and make it work for him. Hopefully, for himself, the rain comes on early enough. If not, then he's just going to have to box for another set of softs and just floor it.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see in just a second as we're waiting for the guys to sort out the setups before the formation lap. Yeah, so talking about Matteo, Lee, why don't you look at have a look at the start for me at Matteo and all the way back from there, and we'll go from there at the start. Lee?
Yes, sorry.
Oh, so, yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I went on that too and just forgot. So in 11th we've got All Shot Down, 12th Ice Streams, 13th we've got LPE, 14th Paul, 15th The Mad Scientist, 16th Ramsell, and 17th is WC96.
And I don't think anyone joined the session in qualifying, so I think we've still got the 17 left. Obviously they're almost readied up, and they are readied up now. So yeah, if you look at 10th and Backley at the start, that'd be really good. So we're just getting ready now, and they're on their formation lap. Droftas are leading them away from Total Please and Blaze and Infamous Pillars and Alahan. So it's all mixed up with the teams. The two guys that are together on the same team are, who I'm looking at now, Aylin and Young Stinson. Paulie Orange is in 8th, Panda 9th, 8th, sorry, Undenge 9th, Matteo 10th, 11th is All Shot Down, 12th is iStreams, 13th is LPE, Paul 14th, 15th in the last JCB car is Mad Scientist, Ramsell is in 16th, 17th is WC96, and obviously we haven't seen a lap set from him whatsoever at the moment in the MTV car. I'm not sure, he is ghosting at the minute, so I'm not sure if he's been able to race or not. So we might only have 16 actually, unfortunately, but we will just have to see as we see the predictions for pit stops are medium to soft and medium, but obviously that's probably not going to happen, seeing as we know there's going to be a little bit of a rain dance later, and there's going to be a little bit of rain falling on the streets of Singapore.
We've got where we crystal ball here in the commentary box. So yeah, looking at the tyre strategies, it's going to be quite an interesting one with the top 9 all on mediums, Matteo in 10th on the softs. And then you've got the next 3 on the mediums. Then
I'm surprised that people like Paul in Mad Scientist have gone onto the hards.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
I'm not sure.
We'll have to see. But anyway, we'll just get ready to get going now and wait for them to form up, and we'll just get started. So yeah, they just keep an eye on the back and let me know later on in the lap what's going on, as we see the pit strategy coming up once again. Same medium to hard, or hard to medium, medium soft, medium. But we'll have to wait and see as we're getting ready. And the last MTV car is forming up at the back. And we're just getting ready for the green flags as we see the lights. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 5 lights, and we're away here in Singapore, and Drofdas seems to get a pretty good start over Total Peace, and Total Peace taking the lead in the Jaguar, and JCB are in second now with Blaze all up the back there of Drofdas, and Drofdas goes wide through turn 3 up towards Raffles Boulevard, and the BMW overtakes Drofdas down to two places, gets those 2 points in qualifying, but it's dropped the 2 places in the race at the moment in lap 1, and he's about to fight back on Blaze as he goes to look to the inside, and nothing doing there for Drofdas at the minute, and Total Peace fighting back from that not so good Q3 appearance, and to take first place at the moment in lap 1. And yeah, that was a pretty clean start there, Lee.
No, well, I just noticed there that Mad Scientist has had quite a bit of front wing damage, so he'll have to box for repairs.
Yeah, and Paul as well. And I think he's all calmed down at the front just a little bit. There is a little bit of a train towards the back with Paulie Orange as they all come down that into sector 3 at the minute, just around that tight right-hander. And yeah, it's towards the front though. What I could see, it seemed pretty nice. And the BMW driver Blaze is having a look at the Jaguar of Total Peas, and this battle for first may go on into the race, into the night. So how's Matteo doing then? He's gone down to P13 at the minute, and Ramsell is all over the back, and Matteo is diving into the pit lane.
He got damage. Matteo's in the pits for a front wing change. He's going on to the mediums, so bit of a change of plan there. And Mad Scientist is into the pits as well. We'll see what tyres he's going on to. It appears the yellow walled medium tyres. So
all my timing screens are messing up at the minute, Lee. I do apologise for the minute. I think a lot of people are still in there. It looks like they're ghosting for me, some of them, but they're I think they're still in the race.
There we go.
Yeah, they're all back, and they're all back for me at the moment. So obviously Drofdas losing those 2 places, but he's still in the fight at the moment for P1, and coming onto the back of Blaze at the moment, or trying to at least, as we haven't got we've just had DRS enabled on lap 3, so we have got some blue flags. There's obviously a little bit of a problem going on with the lobby. I hope it does sort itself out in a second, so just ignore those marker boards on the side of the track flashing blue lights. It doesn't actually mean anything, but what means something at the moment is the winner of this race, and Drofdas is trying to fight back from his pole position at the minute with Blaze just ahead of him, as we have a yellow flag, sector 3.
It's nothing, it was just WC96 is ghosting right now. I don't think he's in the lobby. I think that may be why. I think he just turned up and then unfortunately maybe disconnected or something. Okay,
but what we are about to see is Drofdas making a move on Blaze, which he does quite comfortably, and he's got young Stinson behind him for company as well as Blaze, and he's going to have to look out in his rear view mirrors, so he's going to have to do a bit of attacking and defending to try and come back. And I think Drofdas is going to try and pull away and have a go at that Jaguar driver where he got him at the very start of the race, and it was a move into turn 1. It was a hell of a move. So yeah, it's all hotting up now, and we don't know when the rain is going to come. Obviously, but unfortunately we're not actually in Singapore, and we can't tell you where the rain clouds are coming from, but they are coming, and it's not going to be long until the race starts really spicing up. So anything to report at the minute then, Lee, or?
No, at the moment. I mean, LPE is on the tail of Panda right now. LPE all shot down my mistake, and Purely Orange, Allahan and Andanger all in like this week train together, so there are a couple keep an eye on.
Yeah, and of course the 2 leaders also not too far behind. Always Blaze actually, and of course young Stinson maybe making a move in a second. He didn't into turn one. Droftas gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. There were a few warnings at the very start, but there was a lot of action going on at the start as we see ice streams coming into the pits from 12th position. As we see Blaze and young Stinson goes down the inside on Blaze and gives him enough space around the outside. Blaze is going to have the inside for the next corner, and he gives up the position on Stinson, and Stinson is up into P3. We've got Panda all shot down, and LPE are all really close together. We've got a couple of trains going on. Oh, be free to cut in, Lee, if you have something. I'll find it.
Oh no, it was, we both ended up just speaking at the same time. It was just about the same thing actually, about Panda getting right close up to the gearbox of all shot down, so just keeping an eye on it to see if he might be able to catch him at this next DRS straight. I think all shot down got a bit better traction coming out of that hairpin than Panda, unfortunately, so yeah, it's just one of these things, I guess.
It is one of those things, but we have got a train of Van Dench, Alahan and Paulie Orange, all different teams, Jaguar, Nintendo and JCB, all fighting for that 6th position at the moment, and young Stinson is right on the back of Droftas for P2. So this is starting to heat up at the front a little bit. We've got a few little trains going on there, which is quite nice actually.
It's quite interesting. Sometimes you don't really see that, but everybody just ends up spreading out.
Yeah, well that's what they were trying to hope for with this league, with the time trial times and all that. And talking about that in just a second, as we see young Stinson making a move round the outside on Droftas, getting another Sector 1, fastest Sector 1. And Droftas now moving down into P3, so it's all getting interesting towards the front. There's a lot of moves going on. Infamous Pillars right on the back of Blaze at the minute, not making a move just yet, not really anywhere to have a go. We've got Panda and All Shot Down really close together, as well as LPE, Ramsell a little bit further back. We've got these guys towards the back who have obviously had to pit really early, and the 2 JCB drivers at the back of the field at the minute of iStreams and Mad Scientists, so hopefully they can work their way up a little bit later on in the race, but it needs a little bit of patience. As we see Paul in a bit of a race of his own at the moment with WC96, sorry, and yeah, that's and I'm not sure if WC96 is actually in this race or not.
It doesn't appear to be, because he's been ghosting the whole time, but
he's on the pace of Paul though, which is...
I think the only reason that is because Matteo, iStreams and Mad Scientist have all boxed, and Matteo is gaining on him at a considerable rate.
Yeah, and we've got some battles going on here, Lees. We've got Blaze and Infamous Pillars going down Ruffles Boulevard at the moment. Blaze no DRS, Infamous Pillars DRS enabled, but not able to make a move down into the left-hander at the end of Sector 1. So I think that's all calmed down for a little bit, but Paulie Orange and Andenge and Alan are all in a battle together. All shot down, and Panda is still... Oh, and Panda almost makes a terminal mistake there, but was able to get the car facing in the right direction once again. So yeah, we've still got these little trains running here, but
I'm seeing a wee bit of rain.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
and this is too early for the mediums. If it starts pouring down,
yeah. So
yeah, there is rain on the lens. So it just depends how much rain. Like obviously, if it stays like this for 5 or 6 laps, they're laughing still. It's still going to get the tyre temperature. It's probably going to help the tyres actually with a tiny bit of rain. because it'll keep the tyres in a nice window with you know, with tyre wear as well.
Yeah, because this track does have a tendency to heat the tyres up quite considerably, so. But then you've also got the grip levels going down, so in both senses.
Yeah, definitely.
The rain does look like it's coming on a bit heavier now.
Yeah, well, it's not looking so bad at the moment. DRS is still enabled at the minute, and DRS is enabled, and it's enabled Infamous Pillars to make a move down the inside on Blaze, but he gets a penalty for his troubles as well, and Blaze is coming back for his troubles also, and he's squeezing him to the outside like almost like Romain Grosjean and George Russell last year, but obviously Infamous Pillars making the move there slyly, and they're going to fight back once again towards Anderson Bridge. This is amazing racing, oh my goodness, and just down the inside once again, and Blaze taking back that 4th position. This isn't even for a podium, but it is for high points, and as we see, and Denge sneaking in there, we're on board, and it's going to let Outhan come in here. This is it, it's getting tasty now.
I told you this. As soon as the rain starts, that's when it's going to get nice.
It's gone from a corner to a gel Frazee in half a lap, Lee.
So we've got, let's see, who is it we've got, right? So we've got from Blaze
4th
all the way to
Paulie Orange.
8th.
Yeah.
So we've got 5 cars in that.
And are they ducking in? Are they going? Yeah. No, they're not. They're not going in yet. So obviously,
leave it a couple of laps.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, the rain is starting to get heavier. Then maybe they should have picked that lap. Maybe they should have gone. Is anyone going to pit towards the back? I.e., like Paul.
I mean, they've not got much to lose, to be honest. So...
Panda is the first one to roll the dice. Pit lane open for intermediate tyres, as we see there on the right hand side. And he's having a nose change as well, but he might still make up places just for this. Ramsell staying out. This is interesting. Paul staying out on the hard tyres. That's a risky strategy. We've got WC96. We don't know who's in the session. We've got all these guys at the back who may be coming back into play just from this rain now. As I thought earlier on, we said we'd come back to them later, and we're going to have a little check in a minute. Blaze is still in 4th place. And we're going to keep an eye on Panda as well. Keep an eye on Panda, Lee, and see how his pace is going. That'll be really helpful. And Blaze still holding up. This train could potentially be the cork in the bottle at this point. And Mad Scientist making a move on Panda. So we're not sure if the Inters are faster than the dries. Even the mediums are faster, which is a surprise. Obviously the medium in the middle of the range, as we see Panda struggling for grip, but it will come in the near future. Well, we do hope anyway for him.
Yeah, I think it would have been
They're
better
still
to stay
staying
on
out.
the dries, but you would have lost all that time if having to go into the pits again. So it's a risky strategy, but he's going to wear down his tyres quite quick.
He will wear down his tyres quite quick. As you see, Total P is still staying out, with young Stinson now coming back, and he may be fighting for the lead in just a minute. And Mad Scientist making a move on WC96, as you said. We're not sure if he's in the session. We don't think he is, as Panda is now getting really close to the back of him also. Paul is struggling on the hard tyres there, as we see him almost clatter the wall there, and he's got Matteo behind him on the medium tyres. He's going to have more grip, and Paul makes another little look on the escape road, and he's going to have to reverse back, and be careful, there'll be yellow flags. It might bring out a VSC. We'll see in just a second, and we're going to see who's ducking into the pits. Ramsell ducking into the pits, 5-second penalty, speeding in the pit lane. We're going to see a load of those, I think, Lee, just from the conditions.
Well, as we see, Mad Scientist is boxing as well.
Yeah, so a lot of these guys are coming into the pits at the minute. Front wing change for the BMW 12 driver of Ramsell, and Panda making some moves now. We're going to see the front runners, because they're all struggling here, coming into sector 3, and young Stinson right on the back of Total P's now. Jaguar versus Nintendo for the win at the minute, with Droftas falling quite far behind, getting his 2 points from pole position, but falling back to third place at the minute, and stayed there since lap 1, or dropped back there since lap 1, as we see Total P's diving into the pits. Now Stinson is taking a bit of a risk here. I don't think he's got anything to lose by having a go at this. He's staying out for a lap. Obviously we're not sure who holds up who actually in these pit lanes, as it is randomised and there's no colour configuration for the teams. We can't control that.
They're entering the pits as well, so's
yeah.
Droftas.
Yeah, they're all ducking and diving now. So the only one that hasn't is young Stinson. Yellow flag, sector 2, that could bring young Stinson into it. As we see Paul making a crucial error there, and the hard tyres did not work for Paul, and he's going to have to come in for the intermediate tyres, and Mad Scientist is going to take his position as well, as he's just coming over the Anderson Bridge and going to have to come back to the pit lane.
Well, let's see who's out still on start on the drives. We've got
Matteo and young Stinson, who I think
ice streams as well.
And I think young Stinson's going to lose out tremendously now. Yeah, he's going so slow. He's going to drop back like a rock. Yeah. He's 25 seconds, 25 seconds ahead of Total P's. Oh, I don't know. Is it
VSC? VSC?
Oh, VSC deployed at the moment, and that's for Paul, really struggling on these hard tyres. He needs to just creep it back to the pits and just go dead slow and get it back, and this could be rewarding for him, just to try and get himself back in the game. But some of these guys now going on the intermediates on this VSC are laughing because they've got almost a free pit stop, and Stinson needs to come back to the pits as quick as he can, or as quick as the doubter will allow him.
Oh, that's off.
And it's off, but he has got a bit of a window, so he needs to. Mad Scientist is the first. Yeah, he's got a 30-second window. This could be golden. He's making a mistake into the pit lane, and he needs to not get a 5-second penalty when he comes in. And Total P's is coming under the archway now, under the grandstand, and yeah, we're going to see. This is going to be pretty close, I think, Lee.
Tyres changed, Inter's on, away he goes.
This is going to be very close. This is going to be super close. I think Total P's has got it, but not by much.
And Stinson has got a bit of traffic ahead along, which is fine.
Yeah,
on mediums. Did he mean to do that, or was that just fault of his? Maybe, I don't know. Oh, Mad Scientist does it.
Yeah, I was saying that earlier on. I think something happened, but yeah, Mad Scientist out of race. We've got 16 drivers left in this race. Yeah, Infamous Pillars still behind Blaze in a minute. No DRS assistance now, but it's all about the skill of the wheel and of course your right foot in applying power. It's quite tricky in the wet, and it seems to have gotten wet very quickly now. The downpour is coming. I don't know whether it's going to go to wets in the not too distant future. Obviously it really spices the race up for me and you, Lee. But yeah, as we see Paul make another mistake. I don't know why he's on the medium tyres. He's absolutely ruined his race. But yeah, commiserations to Paul. Hard track to start the season. So we'll hope that we'll hope he gets back to the pits and he'll be able to unlap himself later on in the race. But it's looking unlikely. But yeah, we'll have to see what the future holds anyway with these guys. Sector 2-3 yellow flag. I don't know what that's for. Paul, once again, medium tyres.
Well, if there was a safety car, he could hopefully unlap himself and get back around and get back in the fight. But
yeah, he needs to stay out an extra lap though, doesn't he? That's how you unlap yourself. So yeah, so if Paul is listening, which he does sometimes, just remember, if there is a safety car, Paul, don't pit the lap the safety car comes out, pit the lap later. You'd have unlapped yourself and be back in the race. As we see,
still do that.
Anyway, yeah, I'm not too sure, but Droftas is right behind Andenj now. As we've been talking about a load of other things, Droftas is right on the gearbox of the Jag in front. Obviously, I haven't seen Jag since 2005, well before this race even started. And Droftas is going around the outside, but he can't make the move on Andenj at the minute, and he's going to cut back. He does a switcheroo and goes around the outside once again, but he can't make the move. He's going to do it again, and this is they're almost dancing here, Lee. The driving going on here, they've really got to give themselves a pat on the back at the minute. The driving has been pretty decent so far, as we see the MTV and BMW drivers ablaze, and Infamous Pillars just up the road. We've got Total P's got a bit of a gap on Young Stinson, tried to make that extra lap on the mediums work, but unfortunately he just got pipped to the post. As in the pits is Ramsell.
Well, is that battle between Droftas and Andenj, it allowed Alhan and Nintendo and Purely Orange to catch up. Seems Purely Orange slipped away a wee bit.
Yeah, well, not by much, and Droftas is still harassing the back of Andenj at the minute.
Panda's on the tail of LPE. He's not going to be able to get anywhere yet to now.
I definitely think this is hotting up now. Anyway, between these four drivers, six drivers from all fighting for third place at the moment. We're just going to see what happens with the rain. See what these guys can do. Droftas could have really done with DRS, but obviously no DRS in the wet. Accident waiting to happen, that is. I think he's got a good run out of that corner now down Raffles Boulevard. He's going to have to go to the outside again, and Denge is defending hard, but defending fair. And still got the edge over Droftas at the minute as he's squirreling for grip down into the right-hander, and he has got Alan behind him, very close behind him. And Infamous Pillars is still very close behind Blaze at the moment. It's very nip and tuck at the moment, isn't it, Lee? They are all very close together. It's just a shame that the passing here is, as I said earlier, is quite difficult.
Yeah, it is. It's a quite a tight track, and it's hard to overtake on. I mean, it was basically the DRS that made the overtakes even in the dry. So it's all going to come down to pit strategy really, and being consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you as well. As we're not even at half distance yet, obviously the rain has come. Yellow flag. Was that yellow flag sector 1? I hope it wasn't Paul. No, it wasn't Paul. Paul's being lapped by a few cars at the minute.
I think it was just a blue flag. He was just letting them pass.
Paul, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. I think we're going to have a lot of these. It might make a little bit of a mix-up. Should we do what we used to do in the past, Lee, and just leave it for surprise at the end?
Yeah, it'll be more fun.
Yeah, I think so as well.
But yeah, what a race to start off the calendar, to be honest. I mean, Singapore, it's a beautiful race. Yeah. I'm not a fan of the track.
You're not at all?
I do like it, like this aspect, but...
What about for commentating, Lee? It's better than Monaco.
Oh yeah, it's fun. But is the poor Orange just going a wee bit on the curve there and just losing the tail end just slight. And
Denge and Droftas are battling away tooth and nail at the minute, and Droftas has now made the move round the outside towards the Anderson Bridge, and just we were chit-chatting away there, just all thought it'd calm down for a minute, but no can do for Andenge this time, and he couldn't defend from Droftas, but fight isn't over at the moment. Got anything to say, Lee? Sorry.
No, it's just heating up quite a bit, to be honest. I mean, oh, sorry, I got distracted there from his Piers Droftas was getting that on the. It's like when I look at it, he's just revving the car. Like it's not even like changing to the low reps. So yeah, but yeah, the race is quite heating up, to be honest, and yeah, this battle for fourth place is
Third place.
Third. Oh yeah, sorry, third place. It was because I looked at the wrong thing. But yeah, it's heating up. I mean, I think young Stinson's. I think he's catching.
Oh, he is catching. He is catching. So we'll cut back to that in a minute, because we've got Infamous Pillars really close to Blaze now for the last of the podium positions. If you check out what fastest lap is at the minute, Lee, that'd be brilliant as well.
Fastest lap. That's by Droftas, 39.3.
So it looks like Droftas will have the fastest lap as well as pole position, because obviously it's raining and we're not going to go any faster.
If he manages to get the win, then he's got the full thing. So it'll be fun to see if he could pull out the bag, but judging by the gap,
With 20 seconds now, the gap, there's a humongous gap. I don't know how that happened. How did that gap happen?
I think it was just with all the battling that was been going on.
Right.
It's just allowed Total Peace to just pull away. Which,
yeah.
Lucky for him. Unfortunate for Droftas and Pillars and everything.
Yeah, and Blaze, and talking about Blaze and Pillars, they're still so close, and Droftas is now really into this fight for third. So I think it's 3 for third, and yeah, Infamous Pillars getting super close to the back of Blaze there. I think that's what that that noise was about. And obviously we've still got this little Andenge, Alahan and Aylin, sorry, and Paulie Orange train behind. We've got LPE and Panda fighting away over the Anderson Bridge at the moment, and LPE going really wide out of the hairpin, and Panda making the move on LPE, and it looks like he's going to concede the position into the right-hander, which he does, and Panda now moved up into the top 10. As I said earlier, though, everyone is going to get a point in this race, and Panda will be getting decent points at the moment. And we're going back to Droftas, Infamous Pillars and Blaze, and Infamous Pillars getting a bit of a kick of oversteer out of that corner, wasn't being able to get the traction down, and Droftas is now going to have a go down the inside, has a little look, but he doesn't make the move. And we see LPE and Panda going into the pit, so I wonder what Panda, we'll just have a quick look and see what Panda's going to do here. As we see, that gap is almost down to a second for the lead. Wing change. So yeah, there's no change in the tyre. As we see, young Stinson has got the Jaguar in his sights for the win. Obviously we had Paulie Orange win last time out with Droftas and Infamous Pillars were in the top 3 that race. But obviously we've got a different top 3 for this race at the moment. Obviously there was no points last week. It was just a trial run for today, but today really matters, and it matters to Stinson, and Stinson wants this win. At the minute, as we see Paul, looks like he might be lapped, getting lapped now, as we see Total Peace, young Stinson still just out of the 1 second gap, as we see Infamous Pillars, Blaze and Droftas yellow flag, sector 1. I think that was just Paul getting out of the way of the leaders.
Most likely.
You okay there, mate? Stay with us. It's fine.
Yep. Sorry, no, I was just going through everything there.
Yeah, it's still we still got these trains that we've had sort of from that one. Actually, these groups have all sort of stayed together. Switching and
Yeah.
changing a little bit, but they've pretty much stayed together as we see these three guys again, and obviously we've got a lap car between these guys, which is a bit confusing. Infamous Pillars, which isn't confusing, is having a move on Blaze, but Blaze still fights back round the outside. A great defending.
Matteo's just spun.
Matteo,
I just seen that he's just seen him recovering there. So wonder what happened there, whether it be his own mistake or a result of a collision.
well, that they're still not changing positions at the top three. It's top three. Sorry, the fight for third. At the minute, they're still not changing. Sorry, I was just went a bit quiet there, just because the spectator mode's been a bit laggy. I think not laggy, just a bit glitchy. So I was just having a little fiddle with that. Panda goes back into the pits once again for another wing change. It's really not been his day at the minute, nor has it been for Ramsau. Matteo is coming into the pits now because he's had his spin. Alhan, 3 second time penalty for him. We've still got just over about a third of the race to go. Infamous Pillars stepping out of the racing line there. I don't know what for, just to maybe distract the driver in front of Blaze, and all 0.8 of a second. Young Stinson and Total Peace. This is the fight for the win. At the moment, they are half a minute almost away from third place. They are really in a race of their own. They are the Mercedes of this race at the moment. They are really one and above the field at the minute. As we see a yellow flag. As we see Infamous Pillars, talking about yellow flags, Infamous Pillars makes a move on Blaze there. We just missed that. Blaze going deep into the corner. He's going to hit the wall, which he does. He's going to make it. He's going to lose the place to Drop Dust as well. So he's gone from third to fifth in 2 corners. And he's going to be a victim to Andenge as well in a minute, I think.
Fortunately enough, he's not got any front wing damage that I was able to see.
And Panda spinning again, and he really does not like these wet conditions. In Singapore, the car really isn't working for him, and he's hit the wall for another time there, and he's really all over the place. I'm not sure if he's doing it on purpose now, to be honest. But we'll skip back to something else.
That's a PK.
Yeah, we won't talk about Crashgate. Obviously, that was. We said earlier about Fernando Alonso's win 2008. This is there's a bit of controversy over that win. I could have mentioned that earlier, but I chose to leave it out, and I'm kind of glad I did. But always got Lee to bring things up, and we got Infamous Pillars and Droftus still trying to look to fight back for a podium, at least from his pole position. It would still be really good points for Droftus. And I'm not too sure if he would take championship lead over because of fastest lap and pole position as well. But we'll have to see. I think it'll be tied with whoever leads the race. And young Stinson is falling back just a little bit. Yellow flag, sector 3. Panda just pulling off to the side of the track. Streams out the pits. We're still on inters with about 12 laps to go in this race.
So let's see how our pit stops going. So
talking about pit stops, Panda into the wall on pit entry. I think he's had enough for today. I feel like he's gonna retire in the pits now. Would be my guess. There we go. Yeah,
he's enough.
Yeah, I don't blame the man either. It's the game is all about fun as well. If you're not having any fun, especially how little fun he was having. We're talking about guys having fun. I think Droftus and Infamous Pillars, or Droftus maybe having more fun than Infamous Pillars at the moment, because he's still right on the rear of Infamous Pillars at the moment, and still got Paul taking up the rear at the minute, and just letting a lap car through. And Paul hasn't got a front wing. So it's not been a good day for Paul either. Young Stinson in the pits, new set of inters or wet inters. So this is interesting. He's got a free pit stop here. This is an interesting call.
I wonder if the rain's going to get any heavier, will Total Peas stay out and just go straight onto the wets, or it's one of them calls, is it? Is the rain going to stay like intermediate weather?
But could he make up the time? That's the thing, isn't it? You never know. Can he make up the time? But we will know in about 11 laps time. We will find out if he's been able to make up that gap, because obviously he felt like he couldn't go past him on the tyres he had. So this might have to call Total P's bluff as well. I mean, if you Total P's, what do you do if your tyres are not feeling great? As they have been going a lot faster than everyone else, their tyres are going to be more worn.
I mean, to be honest, if I was Total P's, what I would do right now is I'd possibly box. Like, just floor it, get in, get the tyres on, depending on how long the weather's going to be.
Yeah. No, I agree as well. So I don't know what well, we'll see if Total P's dives into the pits. We'll see if he's coming into the pits, so he's not risking it. And I think I would have done the same as well. But it's going to put Infamous Pillars Droftas back into the race if they can stay out for the rest of this race on these tyres. I'm not too sure if they're going to be able to, but if it gets a bit wetter and they need to have the get the wet tyres on, they'll be laughing because they're not having to do this extra stop. And it is getting really wet now. I'm surprised we've not got to wet tyre stage yet. Are you a little bit surprised, Lee?
Yeah, I mean,
Droftas into the pits.
Like... Oh.
But what's he going for? It is getting wetter. We don't know what's going on with the weather. The guys can ask Jeff. Obviously, everyone has Jeff.
Purely orange as well.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens here. It looks like his int is all out on the side. Yeah, so they're not going to be able to last to the end of the race, so they haven't been brought back.
Purely orange is on the wet. Purely orange went onto the wet tyre. Let's see how this fares out.
This is going to be interesting now. This is spiced up the race a little bit now with those wet tyres going on. So we're going to see, especially as he's got Andenge just ahead of him. So we're going to see what happens because the rain might get heavier.
Oh no.
Oh, as we see, Alan just takes the place off Andenge, and just out the pits there. That was super close in Andenge, going round the outside of Alan, and he makes the move, stick round the outside. Well, I say stick, they're side by side. It was a brilliant attempt round the outside, shall we say?
They're going to be side by side.
But now he's made it stick, and it looks like he's going to be able to keep the position for a second, but maybe not. And we've got Paulie Orange just behind them as well.
And he's actually kind of keeping up to on the medium, the wet, sorry.
Yeah, he could be laughing with this strategy. This could be, he won last time out, but, you know, that was all on pride, not on pride and merit, not on points. And, yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if he can make a move. See this great camera shot from the helicopter over the Anderson Bridge, looking at Andenge at the minute. And as you said, yeah, Paulie Orange sticking with the Inter guys. So obviously, and I think he's only going to get wetter. So if he's at a crossover point, and Paulie Orange is laughing at the minute, he probably won't be in for the win as it stands if it stays the way it is without any safety cars or any incidents happening. But he'll be right up there for a podium, I think.
I think what he'll be hoping for is maybe a safety car near the end. Like
as we see Infamous Pillars is into the pits, onto the Inters as well. And we see Droftas coming down. This is going to be closer than we thought last time, as he's just coming out of the pits now. And Droftas is into turn one, and he makes the move on him, infamous pillars. As he scraped the wall on the exit. I wasn't too sure the camera angle wasn't great.
Oh, he's fine. Blaze gets him as well, unfortunately, so that's a bit of a...
Yeah, the undercut really worked there. The overcut was not so good. Yeah, back to Paulie Orange. Still, he's falling back a little bit, but not enough to dignify this is the wrong strategy yet. I mean, you can drop off a few seconds, that's not a problem, as long as the rain comes down a little bit more. He's still going to be laughing, isn't he, Lee?
Yeah, if it comes down a bit more, then he could hopefully pop all the way up to third place.
Which would be a brilliant drive, brilliant strategy call even.
Some would say genius.
Some would say genius, exactly, Lee.
Some would say crazy.
I wouldn't say he was crazy, as we see Paul going onto the wets now as well. So that's another one, throwing the dice for the blue stripe, and yeah, we're going to keep an eye on this and see what is going on with that. I'm not sure if the rain's... It's definitely not easing off the rain, is it?
No. No, it's not.
And Engine's struggling. Blaze, Drofdas is sort of flown off for third at the minute. He's still not struggling. I think that some of the track, because this is quite a long track, I think some of it's a little bit wetter than others. And just from some corners, the way they're looking on board. But another guy into the pits, WC96 onto the wets. This is going to get tasty now for the last like 6 or 7 laps of this race. Just on the strategy call now, I think. And Paulie Orange is not falling off the back whatsoever. So either it'll get to the point, Lee, I think, where the Intis will just have to stay out with a few laps to go if it gets too wet, because it's not worth them pitting to lose all the time.
Yeah. I'm thinking it might be wet weather now, though. To be honest.
I'm thinking that as well. It's very... Well, we're going to see if Orange is making up this gap, which I think he is now. I think he's... yeah. He's
yeah, he's starting to get that gap quite a bit, like a good 10 or 2 so often.
Yeah, and we've still got Blaze and Infamous Pillars just up ahead. Blaze just got a little bit wide there before the Anderson Bridge, but he's doing a good race here, Blaze. I think he's done quite well. We've got Stinson getting up to the leader again. We're going to have to keep an eye on this as well. We're going to see what the leaders do as well. Because obviously they've still got another 3 pit stops, so maybe Stinson going on to the wets might be a great strategy call to do now, a lap earlier than Total P's, as we see LPE into the pits, presumably for the wet tyres. No, he's gone on to the Inters actually.
Right.
So yeah, this is interesting. There's only been a couple of guys gone on to the wets. As you said, that gap's come down now with Paulie Orange to a second.
Yeah, so the wet tyres are really turning on now with this.
Yeah, just this lap, I think. Oh, it's Orange almost loses the car, and that would have been a disaster. Like me the other day, I just briefly hungry. I came in the pits onto medium tyres when the rain stopped. DRS was enabled, turn 1, out of the pits, and I spun. Fantastic. I think you were in that race, weren't you, Lee?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. So, but luckily, Paulie Orange didn't do anything like that. So with 7 laps to go in this race, that 2 guys into the pits, 12th and 13th. Inters. This is very interesting. So some guys thinking the fresh Inters are a better idea, and others are thinking the wets. But we haven't had a big mix-up yet. So Paulie Orange needs it to start really raining, like in 2 or 3 laps is where it'll be perfect for him, because these guys ahead, the grit will be going, They're in two minds whether to pit for the wets or try and just stay out to the end, see where they go. So really, yeah, I'd say Orange wants it to really start raining in about 2 or 3 laps, doesn't he?
Yeah, he wants it to get heavy quickly. That's what he'll be wanting, which it does appear to be, because I could see quite a lot of water being sprayed over the back of the cars in front. So we're just going to wait and find out.
Yeah, we certainly we are just going to have to wait to find out. As we're about to go on to lap. We're on lap 25 at the minute, almost on to lap 27. Obviously, it's a big gap to the leaders. Young Stinson still hasn't thought stuck in for the wets. That hasn't crossed his mind. There's still a little bit of a gap between the two. I'm not sure if the rain's actually lightening up a little bit now, Lee, you know? It's hard to tell.
It's not, it's quite heavy. Although one thing I do really love about this is like in the wet you see the lights just like sparkling off the helmet and that.
Yeah, no, I do like night races. I think there's some. It's not brilliant for the environment, but yeah, they can be quite special. We have how many do we have on the calendar? 1, 2, 3, don't we?
Yeah, 3.
I wonder if the oval Bahrain circuit will be done at night or in the day.
That'll be a weird one to see in the day.
Yeah, I've been thinking of that as well, that it'd be somewhat strange. As we see Paulie Orange, 0.7 of a second now, behind Alan and Dengen. It's really getting wet now. I think it's wet time. I think it is time for wets now. I think it was on the crossover, but I think Orange is looking good here for a podium.
Stinson and Prix have just went and passed the pits. They're leaving it now. See if Rottas is going in the pits.
Yeah, we've got a few seconds to find out whether he goes into the pits. We'll just wait and see now if Rottas is going to dive into the pits. No, he's not. He's staying out. So Blaze, is he going to come into the pits? No, I don't think either of these guys are either. Yeah, I think at this point now they're going to have to stay out. But I think Orange really needs to try and make use of his wet tyres now.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised at how wet it is. It's still into tyres, to be honest.
To be honest, what I think it's a lot of, everybody's in a battle in the top 8, so it's a case of who's going to blink first, really. I highly doubt young Stinson would pit if Total P's pitting,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Lee. Infamous Pillars is trying to go down the inside of Blaze there, but there was no room for Infamous Pillars, and he's right on the back of him again. As we were talking about strategy a lot here, and not too many overtakes going on. It's they're all sort of even on pace at the minute, but Blaze is still trying to fight for his 4th position. He was fighting for 3rd earlier, but lost that to Droftas. But still fighting for 4th, as you see him now coming around to the Anderson Bridge and down to the hairpin, a little kink to the left and then back to the right again as we see them struggling for traction. I do think it's time for wet tyres, but as you said, Lee, who dares to blink first is really the question. And we've got Andenge and Alahan, and we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2 and Sector 3, and I think it's Paul. Oh yeah, Paul just struggling on those wets. Not working so well for Paul. Infamous Pillars right on the gearbox of Blaze at the moment.
It's, I'm on board with L1 right now, and he's right on the tail of Andenge. I'm thinking he might go for a move soon.
Yeah, I'm thinking that as well, and I'm thinking that Orange is just waiting for them to make a mistake as well, to be honest. Yeah. Oh, it's Orange is struggling for traction out of the final corner. As you still see Blaze and Infamous having an infamous battle here, I think, is fair to say, and Blaze is holding up a solid defence at the moment. He really is, and he's squirreling on traction there, Blaze. Did you see that, Lee? I don't know which battle you're looking at.
No, sorry, I missed that. I was elsewhere. I was on Purple Orange. Oh, Ellen and Andangel side by side.
Oh, they are indeed. As we see him trying to make the cut back.
Like, he is wanting to get past him, like, desperately now.
Yeah, well, it is getting to the final proceedings of the race. At the moment, young Stinson is really close still to the back of Total Peas, but Total Peas has been running a really good race at the minute. It doesn't seem like he's made any mistakes so far. Pitted a lap after young Stinson. He couldn't make the undercut work on him. So yeah, I've been really impressed with Total Peas. Great start. Obviously dropped us into turn 1 and flew off into the distance after that. They both did.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite a big gap, to be honest. I feel like I'm watching that triathlon here.
Yeah, I say it's actually like Mercedes. If they were two of the same team, that's what we'd be thinking. So no one's ducked and dived into the pits. Orange is now struggling. I think the rain has calmed down. Yeah, and Orange's strategy didn't work in the end, unfortunately. So the Inters were the best call, and Infamous is still trying to make a move on Blaze, but he can't make it stick at the minute. He's trying it each way he possibly can. He's really squirming on exit to try and get the power down, and he might have a go here. He might have to make a lunge, and he doesn't as of yet. And we're on lap 28. As we cross the line after this lap, we'll have 3 laps remaining. This has been a long old race, hasn't it, Lee?
Yeah, it has been quite a long race, to be honest, but it's been a bit eventful, to be honest, with
the strategy's definitely, yeah.
Yeah, it's like with the constant little battles here and there.
Oh, Infamous Pillars hits the wall there just before the Anderson Bridle, just before crossing it. I don't know if he didn't get any damage, I don't think, from the off-board shots there, but that was playing with fire just a little bit.
I think he's alright.
So I've worked out where Droft does this. We'll get 21 points for this race. Obviously, Total Peace will be getting 22 points for the win, but Droft will only be a point behind, even though he's in third, because he gets to lose that point for pole position and fastest lap, as it seems like that time isn't going to be beaten, as it's not going to dry out at the end of the race. We've only got 3 laps to go, and Infamous Pillars and Blaze are still battling away lap after lap, and Blaze holding up this defence mega here, and Paulie Orange going back on to the wet tyres again. I didn't notice that before. That's interesting. I thought we would have gone on to the Inters, but not the case, it seems, Lee.
It's stinking a deep. He might get on, I'm not sure. Just
yeah.
Wait and find out.
Oh, just to
remember,
yeah.
So you've got remember for penalties and everything as well.
Oh, of course.
Because this is.
Oh, he's got a yellow flag. We've got a yellow flag. That's ice streams off the track there, and I don't think that's going to cause a VSC or anything like that. As Paulie Orange is back into the pits, I think he didn't mean to put wets on. I think that was a big mistake. So he's going to lose places. I don't think all shot down is going to get him. No, I think he's a little bit too far back.
Been lapped.
All shot down's been lapped.
That's poorly Orange been lapped now.
Oh.
Yeah, he came in and ended up putting on another set of wets by accident, I think.
All shot down is really close to the back of Paulie Orange. but
Oh,
Paulie Orange has still got those fresh tyres, so I'm not too sure that's going to be a problem. Andenge and Alahan are still battling away. Infamous and Blaze are still battling away. Not a change of position though, but we're coming in to the final lap in a minute, as we're seeing Total Peas, who is now sort of making starting to make a comfortable gap to young Stinson. Looks like he possibly, if he doesn't make any mistakes, will get this win, and been leading from start to finish ever since turn 1. Been a really good performance from Total Peas, don't you think, Lee?
yeah, I mean, he's really managed to keep that lead, managed to keep his tyres in the perfect window. And, well, he's just managed them perfect.
Yeah, and managed that gap. Oh, and I'm sorry, Lee. Infamous Pillars is as close as he's ever been to the back of Blaze, and he goes down the. Oh, I think they made contact. And Blaze is going to drop positions. You see there? Oh no! And Blaze has hit the wall several times. He should have just tried to reset to track. He's going to finish 7th because Paulie Orange is really far back in 8th place. His field has spread out quite a little bit now towards the end of this lap, but Infamous now into 4th, but I don't know if there's going to be a stewards inquiry after the race on that one. Did you see what happened there? I didn't catch it all.
I didn't, to be honest, I missed it. I just seen it when you said something, so
Yeah,
I do apologise for that.
that's alright. You don't have to always be checking. As we're on to the final lap now, and yeah, so we've still got Andenge and Alahan, and they're coming down towards the final couple of corners. Obviously, they're still on lap 30, so they've still got a lap to go at the minute. Yellow flag, sector 1 and 2. Blaze slid out once again, and Paulie Orange, I don't think he's still going to be able to catch him. No, he's way too far back. But hold on. But Blaze has lost his whole front wing. This is going to be interesting for the final lap, Lee.
Yeah, but the thing is, Burley Orange has been lapped. I think Blaze is safe.
Yeah, very true.
If he manages to cross that line, then he's safe. Yeah, he's safe, because that's Total Peas just came to the end of sector 2, so
Okay. Well, anyway, we're on to the final lap. We've got a few seconds. We'll just watch this. We'll just watch Andenge and Alahan down Raffles Boulevard for the final time. Is Andenge going to be able to defend from Alahan around this corner? Yes, he is. And as we see, yeah, they're still very close together, very, very close together. But just for the minute, we're going to see Total Peas crossing the line. He started second, but he takes the win, and he wins the first race of the season in Formula 4, and he wins the Singapore Grand Prix. And Stinson takes the win by 0.4 of a second over penalties. So young Stinson takes the win. Droftas is going to come home 3rd place if penalties don't hinder him in that way, and Andenge and Alahan still fighting away. Alahan trying to get the switcheroo at the hairpin, and not being able to make a move just yet. And trying to go around the outside, but he's going to be pushed towards the wall, and just leaves him enough space. And Alahan goes through on the final lap, and he's been behind him for lap after lap. I don't know how many laps, but he's able to make it through. Droftas comes home final place on the podium. Infamous Pillars ran a good race, and or drove a good race, should I say, and he's about to come home P4. Alahan just made the move on Andenge. We don't know about penalties yet. I think Droftas will be safe, just how far ahead he was. And yeah, P4 for Alahan. Now we're going to see these two guys, P4 for Infamous Pillars, sorry, Alan coming across the line, and Andenge also. We'll see who comes. Oh, Infamous Pillars down to 6th. Andenge up to 4th. Alahan, even though he made that move on track, falls to 5th. And yeah, we've only got Blaze to finish the race. Paulie Orange obviously been lapped all the way up to P8. Blaze just trying to come across the line with no front wing, reminiscent of Silverstone this year with Lewis with no front wheel and no front tyre even.
Mm.
So yeah, brilliant race. If you don't mind, Lee, do you mind sticking around just for 2 minutes just to do the post-race interviews? If you,
Sure.
yeah, obviously we got the top three. I don't think we had. We'll see who's driver of the day as well. Maybe Stinson might be driver of the day. Who's it going to be, Lee? Oh no, it's WC96. I don't think he was in the session note, so not sure about that driver of the day.
Yeah, it would. Mm, I'm not sure, to be honest. I mean, Total Peas was on top the whole race pretty much.
Yeah, he just got done on penalties, but Stinson did stick with him the whole time, and he did make up that big gap.
Yeah, he did do well there, but unfortunately, he just couldn't get the space to get past him. Unfortunately, but Denge came from ninth place up to fourth, so
Yeah, well, that was
that's
also a good drive as well. So yeah, I'll just get these. We'll be jumping back into the lobby in just a second. But before that, yeah, young Stinson wins. He had 6 seconds of time penalties. He started sixth on the grid, so that was a great result for young Stinson. That would have been my driver of the day, I think. Total P's second, third Drofdas fourth, and Denge fifth. Alan, Infamous Pillars sixth, dropped down from fourth. Seventh, Blaze had a great race, but had a bit of an incident towards the end. Eighth, Paulie Orange ninth, all shot down. LPE 10th, had a quiet race. WC96 is 11th. 12th is Matteo, started 10th. 13th, Ramsell Ice Streams. 13th, 15th, 14th, 15th was Paul. I couldn't catch the last couple.
I think the last couple just were retirees from. Oh, I forgot what team he was in.
Okay, so we're only going to have two guys if they want to join. We'll just double check. I think young Stinson's actually gone. So yeah, for tonight, I think we'll just leave the interview, seeing as Droftas also says he hasn't got his microphone because he's away for work at the minute, so he didn't take one with him. So anyway, thank you very much. That was a really good showing actually for the first race of the season. Obviously, Britain next week on Monday. Thank you, Flea, for joining me at short notice.
That's no worries.
And hopefully we'll either see you with me again or out on track at some point. Yeah, so thank you. Obviously, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel. If you want to get in touch for the Discord, let us know in the comments below to join the league. Obviously, make sure to keep yourself safe at the moment. And yeah, thank you very much. So we'll just leave it there.
Thanks.